What's going on around? How you guys doing today? Welcome back to another 2 video. And in today's video, we're going to be using what I think is the best build that you can be running on your No-Land Beyond, at least when it comes to the Hunter. This build is going to be playing to the strengths of the No-Land, and it's also going to be really good for chunking big enemies. Champions, bosses, mini-bosses, you're just going to have so much damage built into this kit. So if you're looking for a build that's just all about doing some high damage, then this is going to be the perfect one for you. And this build is going to be perfect for activities like Grandmasters. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you do, remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel in case you guys are already, as well as follow me on Twitch. We'll be streaming out over there, so hopefully you'll be able to stop by. And now, let's get into it, and let's take a look at this build. Now the weapon that we're running on this build is of course going to be the No-Land Beyond, and its exotic perk is the Master. Whenever you score some precision hits, it increases the weapon's damage. And this damage boost is very unique, because it lasts till you are defeated. You only lose the boost to either the activity is finished or you die. So you can technically just constantly be stacking this buff throughout, like, let's say a whole GM, and essentially never lose it, just always constantly building more damage. And when you start to get like a high amount of stacks, you start to do some crazy amounts of damage against bosses and especially champions. You can basically like 3-shot champions, which is really nice. And this weapon also comes with massively increased ammo reserves. This thing carries so many bullets that you're basically never going to be running into any ammo issues with this weapon, even if you use mainly as your primary weapon. You're just constantly going to be doing tons of damage, while at the same time having used a ton of ammo as well. You have around 50 shots on this high damage sniper. It is just like crazy. Now for the exotic piece of armor that we're on, we're going to be on the Celestial Nighthawk. Where we're going to be trying to do some big damage with our sniper. Might as well also pair it up with some big damage golden guns. But that's not the only reason why we have the Nighthawk. We also have it because precision final blows reduce the cooldown of our super. So because we're gonna be wearing the No-Land, it just seems perfect. Every time we get a precision kill, we get a stack on our No-Land to increase the damage, as well as extra super energy, so we can spam our golden gun even more. And you guys already know about the golden gun damage. It is insane, and when we pair it up with a fragment and something in our artifact, it makes it even better, meaning that we're going to be able to one-shot pretty much every champion we run into. Now for our subclass, we're going to be on the Prismatic Hunter, and for your super, you of course want to be on the Golden Gun. Now for your abilities, you can go technically with any dodge, marksman, gamblers, acrobats, any of these would work. Now for your grenade and your melee, I'm going to recommend the Dust Field and the Withering Blades. They're just really good, especially in some in-game content, or whenever you run into some champions. The slow, the freezing, they're both just amazing. And just by themselves, these two abilities are going to be able to stun both overloads and unstoppables. These abilities just have so much utility, and if something tries to rush you or catches you off guard, you can just quickly slow or freeze them and then just kill them. Now for our aspects, we're going to be on Thread, Spectre, and Ascension, so we can jolt a bunch of targets if something gets close to us, and also for the Amplified, so we can get a bit of extra damage resistance whenever we need it, and the Thread Spectre as well. Now, because of the way that Spectre works now, it actually spawns whenever we use our Ascension. So whenever we activate it, we're going to be doing that AoE jolt. We're going to be amplifying ourselves, giving us the damage resistance, as well as putting up the decoy and taking aggro away from us. When something gets close or we just find ourselves in a bad place, we can just quickly use our class ability and just get out of there. Now for the fragments, the first one is going to be the Facet of Solitude. Whenever we land some precision hits, it emits a Severing Blast. This is going to be really good against some of those bigger enemies. 2 shots on the No-Land procs this, and basically it's going to be lowering their damage, making them a little bit less dangerous. And anything that survives 2 shots from the No-Land is definitely something you want to do less damage. It's usually just going to be mini-bosses, bosses, or champions. After that, we're going to have Facet of Balance, and this is going to be so we can get our abilities back faster. Whenever we defeat targets with light or darkness damage, we're going to get back melee or grenade energy. So this is just going to let us spam our abilities a little more. After that, we're going to have Facet of Protection for some extra damage resistance. This is going to be really good, especially in some of the endgame content. You basically never want to go into any dangerous activity without Facet of Protection. After that, we're going to have the Facet of Dawn. Whenever we hit something with our power melee, it makes us radiant. And this is going to do a bunch of different things that are going to be really helpful for the build. It's going to give both our Golden Gun and our No-Land more damage. And it's also going to give us a very easy way of activating Limit Break, giving our Golden Gun even more damage. This is going to be fantastic, and since we're going to have our melee up a lot of the time, this is something that we're always going to be able to activate. After that, we're going to have the Facet of Courage, and if you think we actually ran out of ways of increasing our Golden Gun damage, this is where you're wrong, because this will give our arc, solar, and void abilities increased damage against targets affected by stasis debuff. And this is going to work perfectly with our build because we have two different stasis abilities on our grenade and our melee. But the melee is really what works perfectly because it applies a stasis debuff while at the same time giving us radiant, allowing us to basically proc everything just by throwing one single melee. It is amazing and it's going to make our golden gun do some just ridiculous amount of damage. And the final fragment we have is going to be the Facet of Devotion. This is going to give us the bonus. This is going to give us bonus Transcendence Energy whenever we defeat targets affected by a stasis or a strand debuff. And since we're always going to be freezing and slowing or applying Sever, this is something that we can proc very easily, just so we can get our Transcendence a little faster. Now for the artifact, we don't really have too many things since we're mostly going to be using Solar and a Sniper. But we do have Anti-Barrier Sniper, which is going to let us take the Nolan into the endgame content and just be a monster. I mean, even without champion mod, it will probably still be a monster. After that, I recommend that you go with the Elemental Siphon whenever we get kills with our kinetic weapon, aka our Nolan. We're going to create elemental pickups, matching our subclass, and whenever we pick them up, we're going to gain extra super energy so we can get our super back even faster. You also want to have gold from lead so you can pick up more heavy whenever you pick up special, and of course you want to have Dreadful Finisher so you can just keep getting a bunch of special. The ammo economy in the Nolan Beyond is already great, you rarely ever run into any ammo issues, but having more ammo is never really a bad thing. And for the final column, you want to have Defibrillating Blast, so every time you use the champion, you trigger Bolt Charge, you heal, you jolt things. It is just fantastic, one of the best mods that we had seen in a while. And of course you want Limit Break, this is going to increase your golden gun damage even more. Just make sure that you have Radiant before you activate it. So just make sure that you throw your power melee and hit something, and then you're always going to have that extra damage, not only from Limit Break, but also from the Radiant, and also for applying that stasis debuff. And lastly, let's take a look at the armor mods. For the helmet, you want Special Ammo Finder, and also Kinetic Siphon, so you can keep making orbs, as well as keep topped off on special. Now, the heavy ammo finder is not really necessary. I actually didn't end up using the heavy as much as I thought I was gonna, just because we never really ran into any ammo issues. So we just never really needed the heavy, so you could actually take away the heavy ammo finder and put something else. For your gauntlets, you want Impact Induction and Momentum Transfer, so whenever you do damage with one ability, it recharges the other, and so every time you do damage with your melee, you get Grenade, and whenever you do grenade damage, you get melee energy. And you also definitely want to have a Kinetic Loader, so you can cycle through your animation a little faster. For your chest piece, this is just gonna be your resistances. Just make sure that you check what the threat is, and then match your resistances to that. But Concussive Dampener is always pretty much good on anything. For the boots, we're just gonna have some pretty standard boots: Recuperation, Orbs Restoration, Absolution. So every time we pick up orbs, we get our abilities back, and we also heal. And lastly, for the class ability, we're gonna have Utility Kickstart, Power Finish, and also Proximity Ward. And with that, that's actually the end of the build. Now you guys pretty much have everything you need to basically get in the GM and start just chunking enemies. That's pretty much the goal of the build. Just chunking as many enemies as you can with your Nolan, with your golden gun, and get as many one-shots on some of those big enemies because they're just super satisfying. Even when you just take a big chunk of health with the Nolan, it is so satisfying. This has to be one of the best feeling weapons just in the game. And you just gotta do something to your brain when you see big chunks of health just disappear, especially considering how much you can actually use this weapon. It is crazy, and definitely a top tier like PvE weapon right now. Now I think the playstyle is gonna be a bit different, and it might not be for everyone, since it does require you to basically be the sniper of the team, just kind of standing in the back, just constantly sniping things. You're definitely not gonna be like in the middle of the enemies, like some of the other builds that we put on this channel. But I think this one's really fun, and if you do like to sit in the back and snipe some enemies, then this is gonna be the perfect build for you, and you're gonna be probably doing more damage than even your teammates, because you have a crazy amount of damage packed into this kit. It is amazing. Now the gameplay loop is very simple. You basically sit in the back and try to get headshots with your Nolan. That is literally it. Getting more headshots will give you more damage than the Nolan, so you can chunk enemies. And it's also gonna give you your super faster. And then when it's time to super, when you see a big enemy, just remember to always hit them with a shuriken. Just remember to always hit them with your Withering Blade before you super. And then you're basically gonna be having just a super charged up golden gun that's most likely gonna either one-shot everything or get really close to one-shotting it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope that you guys actually give this thing a try. It is very fun and also very effective. And like always, the dim link is gonna be pinned in the comments, so you guys want to just auto-equip the build, it is gonna be right there. Let me know what you guys think about it, and if you guys do use it, let me know just what you guys thought of the build. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care everyone, have a good day, peace.